talk to you today about atmospheric water generators. So a little bit about atmospheric water generators. It is the last in the process of which water is extracted to citizens. It could be dated all the way back to the Incas, which they use these fog nets, or a more complex version where they use these air well systems. Some modern versions can be seen in a home where the user has the ability to generate water off the grid and save their water bill, or these more complex, bigger versions where they use water to give it to people who don't necessarily have readily accessible forms of water. So when designing the systems, it is important to make various assumptions. One assumption is a volumetric flow rate of the refrigerant, because as it moves through the system, the turbulent flow can cause a loss in energy that we can't account for. Also, the pressure needs to be constant, because if we lose pressure within the system, we'll also lose energy that we can't account for. Gases need to be ideal because within the intermolecular forms of the substance, there can be energy gain or energy loss, and we can't really account for that. The system needs to be adiabatic. System does not move so we can assume that kinetic and potential energy are zero. Specific heat needs to stay constant, and there is a fan in the system which needs to extract all of the heat that the system is generating. So how does this actually work? So if we start here at the compressor is compressing this part of the system, which is filled with refrigerant. The compression of the refrigerant leads to a higher temperature change within the refrigerant, which leads to the vaporization of the refrigerant. As it comes through here through the condenser coil allows the refrigerant to move all the way down to a low pressure region and low temperature region, which cools the refrigerant. The cool refrigerant then goes through this evaporator coil, which is filled with air in the middle. And as that starts to become really cold, this evaporator coil, it lowers the air to its dew point. And as the air goes to its dew point, the air cannot hold the heavy water molecules. So they start to coalesce and they drop down to this water tank. From the water tank, a pump, and all the way through a filtration system, and then you can then use the readily accessible water. So some improvements in the system. So the system is very high energy consuming. So if we can make the system to not be able to use a pump, we can by gravity, that would be awesome. Also, there's this insulation system from aerogel. If we can minimize the energy losses within the heat that's being lost from the system, that would be great. So that concludes my project. Thank you so much.